What's up, everybody? So I'm here gonna make a series about SeaTac Airport. Might as well, in the middle of the night when I have a break, wander around the different areas and show you what there is here if you're ever in the airport. Right now I'm in what's called the D Annex, and it is basically the bus stop. If a bus is going to take you out to where you board your plane, you'll stage here, and then a bus will pick you up right outside the doors and take you to your gate, where the airplane you will board on a mobile staircase or ramp like you've seen on TV if you haven't done it. This is a fairly new facility though, and it's really nice. Not a lot in the ways of food and drink here. They have a Hudson kiosk there, and then up top, which we'll get to, is a coffee shop called The Neighborhood. But the facilities here are very, very nice. They have the water fountains, filtered water for your water bottle fill-ups, family restrooms, changing tables, free items should you need them. But this place just kind of sits standalone. Pretty empty right now. There are a couple of passengers sleeping on the floor over in the other end, but I know their flights probably don't leave until the AM. Well, it is the AM. Probably sometime between 6 and 9. I'm not sure what time first flight is tomorrow. But yeah, look, each one of these chairs has either a table or a cup holder. There's a USB and regular electrical ports so that you can charge your devices while you wait for the buses. If you need mobility assistance, they have that too. Here's the size chart for your carry-on luggage. And then a lot of the employees just hide out over here and chill on their breaks, kind of like what I'm doing right now. This little section over here. Hey, look, there I am. Hi. In case the kids need to burn off a little energy. It's not elaborate, but it is something to climb on. Believe me, I hear a lot of rambunctious children around the airport. Take you up and show you the way that you get to this D Annex is by the D gates. More people just chilling, but that is the Neighborhood coffee stand. They boast that they start selling espresso shots at 4 a.m. and that is the D Annex. Okay, so here we are at the end of the D gates. I thought I had walked from that overpass and back down here with the camera going, but it turns out I must have not. Either that or it's in a different video. But from here on out, I'm going to be narrating voiceover because I did not talk over the camera. I just walked around the airport, got a bunch of looks like, what's this crazy guy doing at 3 o'clock in the morning, filming everything. There goes a robot floor cleaner. this time in the morning, everything is closed except for just a couple of places. There is an all-night 24-hour Starbucks. As you can see, there's a Ballard Brew Hall. It's actually located there to your left. That's a restaurant and bar. I think they specialize in fish and chips. Haven't eaten there yet, so I can't speak on that stuff. I believe I'm about to show you the menu here. If you'd like to pause, you can check out what's on the menu and how much it costs. Gotta love those airport prices. Right now we are at the far north end of the airport. The D gates is as far as you can go on the main concourse. Pretty cool decoration and theming in there. I'm sure you can watch all the local sports games if you're waiting on your plane. You got your seating next to your gates. In motion, it's another store. You can spend money you don't need on, spend money you don't have on things you don't need. Is, I think, how it goes. Next door to that is Hudson. It's a newsstand. Not sure what's in motion. I think it's got luggage and clothing, things like that. Hudson, of course. I'm not sure if it's the same in every airport or if every airport has one, but here in Washington, it's your convenience store. Magazines, books, snacks, drinks, beverages. Drinks and beverages. Can you tell I do this a lot? Then, across from Hudson, we've got the Poke place. I can't remember. Poke to the max. You can get your Hawaiian food there. Poke bowls, pulled pork or Kahlua pork, the masubi, the breakfast item I can't think of the name of, Moco Loco, all that good stuff there. And right now we're actually right above my break room, the place where I work, or the office where I check in. Of course, you can play the lottery. That machine there on the left we just passed. To your right is some restrooms. Water fountains. And then we have the Camden Food Company, which is another smaller convenience store. Then they serve actual hot coffee, lattes, cappuccinos, things like that. Occasionally I'll go in there, I'll get the coffee of the day, which is just whichever grounds they decided to brew up in the trip. It's not too bad. I do receive a small discount for being an employee. There is the overpass right there, leading you over to the D Annex, which you saw in the previous clip. There's some of the signature beverages for the neighborhood coffee stand. Like I said, pouring shots at 4 a.m. Kind of clever advertising. The problem is, about 30 feet down, you'll see there's a Starbucks. And it captures everybody. So by the time people find out that there's another coffee stand, an alternative to Starbucks that also does teas and boba tea and all that, they've already got their Starbucks in their hand. So I kind of feel bad for them. Or maybe I don't. Whatever. If you're going to give all your money to Starbucks, that's what you're going to do. You might be thinking, Pat, you live in Seattle. You're supposed to be a huge Starbucks fan. But it's a little contrary to that. You can see out the window, the jet bridge leading over to that aircraft there. Just interesting things. On this video, I'm able to, I'm splicing together all of the different clips that I made from all of my walks. So we're still in the D gates, walking south towards what I call the main concourse. And I'm not sure if that's what it's called. That's what I call it because I don't know what else to call it. On the way, the offshoot to our right, we'll go to Sea Gates first, and then we come back down. Here you see we got Seattle Doghouse. It's an homage to the University of Washington Huskies. Go Dogs. It's the Western Washington college team. Eastern Washington has the Cougars and Gonzaga. I think they're the Bulldogs. So, another set of restrooms. That's one thing I found out. There's never a lack of some place to use the facilities here, which is actually really nice. Whether they're clean or not, that's a whole different story. Some very cool artwork on the walls. I see so many people taking pictures with the picture on the wall. Like, look at the Space Needle, or check out Seattle. Over here we got an urban market. Down there you can get your shoe shine. A couple of vending machines. Urban market's just another tiny little convenience store. Looks like Starbucks was open already by the time I walked by here. I honestly don't remember what time in the morning I was doing this. There's that Starbucks that captures everybody who never finds out about neighborhood, or if they're going to the D Annex, they get their Starbucks and then they go, oh, look, here's a different place I might have wanted to try if I hadn't already bought a Starbucks. There's some more seating for some other D gates. Coming up there, you'll see the green around the doorway. If you take a left here, it'll take you to two different sets of escalators or an elevator, which will lead you to the trains. We have a north satellite and a south satellite building. The south satellite building is also where you would take international flights, and each of them has a train to get you there. If you happen to be in the airport between midnight and 4 a.m., the trains do stop running. So you'd be stuck here in this main concourse until 4 a.m. when you can catch the train out to your satellite and wait at your gate there. I haven't made videos of the satellite locations as of yet. This is just the main part of the airport. It's attached to all the baggage claims, parking lot, a place where you catch the bus or shuttle over to the rental car facility, or get your taxi or Uber, or your shuttle to your hotel. More restrooms. Right here, you see they have little robot wheelchairs that you can book through your airline. When you check in, they'll come pick you up at the check-in counter, and we'll take you all the way to your gate. SeaTac Airport is currently undergoing massive construction projects. They're updating the sea gates with what I believe is a 7-story facility, which will house much more shopping, retail, and food establishments. Confuses me just a little bit because there is a lot of that stuff already, and you cannot utilize that stuff unless you have a boarding pass and you get through the TSA checkpoint. So, why they need a giant shopping center does confuse me a little bit. I know it's to bring in revenue, right? That's why any of those places are built, but personally, I think we need more parking. However, We are rumored to be hosting the 2028 Summer Olympics in Seattle, so I know they're in a hurry to get all of the updates done. Now we're out of the D gates into the TSA checkpoint area. As you can see, there's an Alaska Lounge there to the right. Big picture showing downtown Seattle waterfront. Directories are located throughout the airport, and people still manage to get lost. I can relate though, sometimes those are hard to read. There's the fun part of the airport, where you may or may not be subject to search. Another lottery kiosk. I think that one says it's paid out like $236,000. Probably in $5 increments. If you need to go to the baggage claim, that door there to the left, take you out to the carousels. However, once you go through there, you can't come back. There's the tax and duty free store. You can get all your luxury items with no tax. A couple of bank ATMs, more restrooms. And that is the update. Behind that wall will be all of the new stuff here. Coming up, I think, supposed to be open by 2026, late in the year, maybe 2027. And this is the corridor to the sea gates. See, we got a Coach store over there, in case you need a new handbag while you're in Seattle. A Sub Pop record store. Since I work graveyard, that's never open when I'm working or when I have a chance to go up there. I really want to go peruse the vinyl. There's a couple of records I'd like to pick up, but I don't know if I'm going to buy them there. I'm sure they've got airport pricing as well. And now, I said that because my screensaver just popped on. I guess I need to move my mouse around a little bit. A little Sub Pop history there. If you don't know, you could pause and check it out. Got Mac. Not sure what that store has in it. And we'll carry on here to the main concourse, as I call it. Excuse me. There's plainware there. That's really cool. They have all kinds of novelties, gifts, clothing, and a lot of it has like discontinued airline stuff. You can go in there and get yourself a hat or a sweatshirt that says like TWA on it, which is no longer an active airline. There's another one that's escaping my mind. Blue and white logo. If it comes to me, I'll bring it up. If you've seen the movie with Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio called Catch Me If You Can, he pretends to be a pilot for that airline. But shoot, the name is escaping me. Anyhow, we got a Salties in here. Upstairs is the Brew Top Social. This Salties opens at 6 a.m., including the bar. I've had a lot of travelers stop me and ask, where's a good place to get a beer? And I tell them, well, you can go here, there, or the other place, but you can't get anything until 6 a.m. And for some people, that's a huge surprise. To my left is a little cafe. I believe they're open 24 hours a day, serving breakfast sandwiches, coffee, latte, cappuccino, things like that. Specialized coffee drinks. pastries. And this is just a big open area with a lot of seating. Places to plug in your devices. Reader boards up top, you can see there. The Mocha Cafe, I think is what that's called. You just relax here. A lot of people crash out on the benches. There's some rocking chairs. When it gets light outside, you can look out and see all the movement out where the planes come in. All the workers are out there doing their thing. We got Koishi, a little sushi place. It's more of like a small kiosk than an actual restaurant. But then you've got all this seating around, so that doesn't make too big of a difference. Across the way there is another TSA check-in security screening point. I'm pretty sure almost every single place in the airport sells alcohol. If you're one of them people that needs that to fly, that's a good thing. Over here in the corner is another lounge going to the Centurion. So that would be your American Express Centurion Lounge. Next up, over to the right here, is Evero Greens. You can go in there for a healthy meal. Get yourself a salad. Right next to it is Polino, Italian spot. This place is open as early as 3 a.m. They stay open until 11 p.m. They might be open 24 hours a day, but I haven't been there. The earliest I've been around is 3. The latest they say they're open is 11. You can get a few things there. 24, well, not 24, all the time. And then at 5 a.m. is when they start making the wood-fired pizzas. Another retail shop there called Fireworks. Artistic stuff. Pee-wee. I'm sure that's like an Asian quick service. Most of these places I've never indulged in the fare. They're usually closed while I'm working, and when I'm not, I don't go there and spend a lot of money on food. You can find all kinds of things in Fireworks. Magnets and stickers and clothing and whatnot. Here's Lucky Louie Fish Shack. Should be pretty good. You know, located in Seattle. We're known for our fresh seafood here in the Pacific Northwest. There's your 24-hour Starbucks right there. Stays open all the time. Over to my left, you see the Made in Washington store. Local arts and crafts and artisan food. Everything that's made here. Probably some smoked salmon in there. You know, all of your t-shirts, hoodies that say, I love Washington. Evergreen State. Of course, you got another lottery kiosk there. More restrooms and ATMs. There's a wine tasting room. Another Hudson. That one stays open 24 hours. Pretty much, if you forgot it, you can buy it there, but you're going to pay 2 to 3 times more than what you paid for whatever it was you lost. Over there on the left, some more vending machines. And the Qdoba, which does stay open 24 hours. Between the hours of midnight and 10 or 11 a.m., you can get a breakfast bowl or a breakfast burrito, and I think maybe even a breakfast quesadilla. I personally wouldn't recommend it though. I have eaten there. It wasn't worth the money. But if you're hungry, it's one of the only places to get food 24 hours a day. Marmot or Marmot, not sure how that's pronounced, and the corridor to the B gates. Alright, back to the C gate corridor. Let's go see what's down here. I see Seattle chocolate. Down there, get your... word has escaped me. I might mention, it is also 4 o'clock in the morning here while I'm doing this. Oh, another Hudson coming too. Coming soon. I was going to say luxury chocolate, but that's no, gourmet. Gourmet chocolate. There's the word I'm looking for. And Pan Am. Look, it's all coming back to me now. Maybe it's the coffee I'm drinking. Pan Am Airlines. I would actually kind of want to go get myself something with the Pan Am logo on it. But they've got other ones too. I just can't think of everything off the top of my head. But now we're walking westbound down the Seagate corridor. You can see all the Alaska check-in kiosks and seating there for the gates. Advertisement on the wall to the right for the new updated facility that they're building. You can kind of see what it's going to look like with all the windows there. It's actually big enough that they could be putting in a hotel. I do know that down in Orlando there's a hotel in the Orlando International Airport. So it wouldn't surprise me if they put in a little bit of lodging here in Seattle. I mean, why not? If you've got the space. I was also told the other night that they're going to completely remodel the South Satellite location, so it might be completely different than it actually is right now in just a few years. Forgive me if you can hear me drinking. I know I breathe heavy, I sniff a bit. I'm a human, that's what we do. So you see concourse expansion. Go ahead and pause and hit that barcode if you'd like to learn more. Maybe I should do that to find out. It's going to be a fossil fuel free system. Whatever that means. Either wind powered or solar powered maybe. More restrooms there on the left hand side. At least for the men there. I believe the ladies are... Oh no, there's the ladies. So maybe the men's further up. Oh, it's on the other side, on the right. Of course. Also, forgive me, I don't have this whole place memorized. I'm looking at it as you are, right here, right now. We're checking it out together. Even though I already walked through and filmed everything. Another lottery kiosk. It's a big one there. Here in Washington, it's the Department of Imagination. Because we all imagine what we would do with our winnings. There's a Sunglass Hut. I can't read that. It's a bar of some sort. And Skillet is coming soon. If you don't know about Skillet, you should know. In Seattle, they started as a food truck, then they built a brick and mortar restaurant, and they are super popular. Over here's a beer garden ran by Hop Valley, a local brewery either here in Washington or possibly Oregon. I'm not sure where Hop Valley is located, but you can go ahead and get yourself a cold brew. Excuse me, there. More seating, another Hudson. Those Hudsons are all over the place. I think that's the majority of my money has gone to Hudson when I've traveled, because we forgot our headset, or we need a bottle of water, or we need something to munch on, or my wife needs Dramamine and Benadryl, all the important stuff. Over here, we got Le Grand Compton. Okay, yeah. Le Grand Comptoir food and wine bar. I don't know why I didn't stop and focus on that last one back there. I guess I figured because I could see it with my naked eye that we were going to catch it on the camera, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Another Asian eatery called Machiko. I'm told it's one of the cost-efficient restaurants. So if you want some food at a cheaper price, that's the best place to go. I missed what was on the right there. Hopefully you saw it, because I thought I turned and focused on everything, but there's that human element coming out again. Like, whoops, I guess I didn't. There's another bar here. I'm pretty sure I show us what it is. There it is. It's Dish Delish. Food to go. I couldn't tell you if it's delish or not. But here we are, coming to the end of the Sea Gates. And my screensaver pops on again. Dang it. Okay. I don't think the screensaver is going to show up on the video. Just my reaction to it, which is probably kind of funny. Not much to see out here. Sometimes these have, unique artwork hanging from the ceiling. I don't know if you remember the D gates had like a canoe hanging from the ceiling. A lot of employees kind of taking breaks, and a few travelers either early or still waiting for their flights. There's another Alaska lounge over there in the right hand corner. Aha, see? Zoomed in. Boom, there it is. If you're looking for the Alaska lounge, I believe they all open at 6 a.m. Except for the one by the D gates opens at 5, I believe. Alright. And that was the Sea Gates. Now, through the magic of television, we are entering the B gates corridor. It's right next to that 24-hour Hudson that we passed on our way to the main concourse. You can pick up your Seattle sports team memorabilia there. There's the Marmot or Marmot. I don't know what Marmot or Marmot sells. Here's a tummy, something. Get yourself a backpack. Maybe some luxury items in there. Check out the fish. For some reason, the B gate corridor is the only one that has all these different fish embedded into the floor. There it is. McDonald's can't be missing. You got like 12 kiosks you can order, do all the work yourself, pick up your food. It's a Delta check-in desk. More restrooms. Like I said, there's no shortage of restrooms. Whether they're accessible or not depends on the cleaning crew. It seems like every time I need to use a restroom, they are closed for cleaning. What's that, Murphy's Law? See the seating on the right, windows overlooking the B gates. ATM there to your left. And continue on. It's another American Express Centurion Lounge. That's a good word. Let's go to the lounge. Sounds bougie. Yeah, B gates is where you'll find your Delta flights. I believe up here to the left is where you'll find your Southwest flights. Here's Lulu, another quick service market and bar. I do have to say, I like the way things are constructed inside the airport. At least it's probably all just facade, and it's probably cheap materials, but they make it look pretty nice. We're coming up on the end of the B gates. There's also no shortage of advertisements all around the airport. Not a bad facility overall. It's a small airport. Everything in the Northwest seems to be smaller than it should be. And that's because I think way back when things were built here, nobody knew about the Pacific Northwest. I think Seattle was the only recognizable name, and even then, most people didn't know where it was or what it was. There's Relish, another restaurant and bar, another Starbucks. So city planners and engineers, when they built things here, they built them to accommodate the population at that time, and they never anticipated that Amazon and Microsoft and Starbucks and Boeing would set up shop here, and that the population would just explode and outgrow our infrastructure. And now we can't even keep up. Every time we expand a road, or we add on to the airport, or make any kind of changes, by the time it's finished, it's already outdated. Seattle is probably, I don't know if it's still considered, but it was considered at one time one of the nicest places to live in the country. And that might still be true as far as like weather and geographic location and just the overall aesthetic of the state, but we're crowded. We are super crowded here. There's another cantina called Mikasa. A lot of cool places. I'm interested in actually, giving them a try. Just not anytime soon, probably. I don't know if you saw the thing there on the left, a privacy booth in case you need to breastfeed the babies. Oh look, the fish have turned into airplanes. A fun little seating area here with cushions or, makeshift beds. There's the escalators that go down to the train. The one train that runs to the North Satellite will also drop you off at the D gates and the C gates. And I believe the train to the South Satellite will drop you off at the B gates and the A gates and the S gates. Well, we've reached the end of the B gate concourse. Once again, we've got ample seating. Actually, I don't think it's ample. When this place is packed for people traveling, waiting for planes, it's standing room only at every gate, pretty much. Just your standard airport stuff: signs, garbage cans, recycle bins, seats, stanchions, desks. You know the drill. Alright, that is the B gates. Let's hit back to the main concourse. And we'll take a right and head south towards the A gates. It's the Qdoba again. Just past Qdoba is a nursery. I'm not sure if it's attended. I think it's just you can go in there and your kids can burn off a little hyperactivity while you have a place to sit down and rest for a minute. There's the marmot. Okay, well they're an outfitter. That solves that issue. Get your raincoats and your hoodies and whatnots. Over there is the what's that say? Baby foodie. And you got your free little library there. And the little playground for the kids. Make sure and follow the rules. You got another lounge here. That's the Delta Sky Club. I mean, that one's a 2-story lounge. Not too bad. Over here we got something called Lady Yum. I believe she sells sugary snacks and treats. Here's another coffee stand called Floret. A little disappointed that this place is always closed when I come by because they do sell Stumptown coffee, and I much prefer Stumptown over most other coffees. Over here you got another little couple of kiosks, candy and cookies. I believe those ones are open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. More seating areas. We are now in the A gate concourse, which is the largest concourse from the whole SeaTac Airport. You'll see here it's going to take quite a while to get from this end of it to the other. But there's lots of cool things to see along the way. And you got me here narrating stuff, hopefully making it a little more interesting. I mean, as far as YouTube videos go, I haven't been able to make anything travel related in a couple of months, so this is the content. But if you're like me, you're a fan of Adam the Woo, German in Venice, then you like videos where the creator walks around and points out the obvious. Because I don't know about you, but I get to live vicariously through these videos and go places I've never been, see things I've never seen, and put them on my list if I like what I see. Make an attempt to get there myself one of these days. Here we are passing another TSA security check-in point. Happens to be closed at this time in the morning. More directories and advertising. Check-in desks. If you notice the ceiling, it's shaped like an airplane wing, which I think is on purpose or intentional. Give you that whole aviation aesthetic. Over to the left, you'll find access to the train to the south satellite with the Sierra gates. There's also a place there where you can exchange your currency. If you're coming from other countries, you're going to come through the Braaescapades. It's the international terminal, so it makes sense. You can go ahead and exchange your currency there before heading to the baggage claim. There's another Starbucks. What does that make, like 4 of them now? There's almost as many Starbucks at SeaTac Airport as there are Hudson News, which we're seeing another of right now too. More seating areas. Check out these pillars. Have tile mosaics on them. Pretty cool artwork. Looks like somebody took an extended period of time to create those. You got TSA using the Mona Lisa as some sort of promotion over there. Let you know you're on camera or something. Some more restrooms, more seating. A lot of repetitive stuff here, right? I mean, imagine that. Seating, signs, restrooms, lottery kiosks, and Starbucks. Put those together, what do you have? An airport. Coming up here on the left, there's another lottery kiosk, another ATM, and there's these little workspaces. You have to actually pay to rent them, which I kind of think is absurd. You can't have a private workspace without paying for it. I feel like every establishment on the planet nowadays has figured out how to nickel and dime us to death. No longer is anything offered for free. We must pay. Yeah, the African. There's a spa over here. African lounge. I'm not sure what kind of food they serve in there. I believe it's a sports bar. Looks pretty nice. If you need a massage or a facial, something along those lines, you can get that in their spa. At the Manchu Walk for some Chinese food. Another quick service. Across from that is Swarovski, I guess. Sells luxury crystal trinkets. Here's another one of those in motion stores. Here we've got the Capitol Hill Food Mall. Just across from that is an information kiosk. This is kind of like an open-air grocery store market with all kinds of different little food venues inside. It is clever. We are nowhere near Capitol Hill, but it's just a name, right? Continuing along. This is going to be a long tables, desks, of course windows. They do have the, they call them escalators. However, they don't go up or down, they just go flat on the floor. But at this time they're under construction or under maintenance and repair. So I was unable to utilize that, headed southbound there. I do believe I can take it north on my way back, but that gives us an opportunity to see this airport art installation. This thing's been here for as long as I can remember. It's this crazy contraption that runs on a little track made up of all kinds of different little odds and ends. See the fisherman, what do you call that, the wind? It tells the direction of the wind, put it up on top of your wind vane. Gears, and some reflectors, there's a little Mickey Mouse toy. Saw the washboard, there's some horn of some sort, chimes, big set of lips and teeth there. It doesn't make much noise. You can kind of hear a ding or a cling, but it's not worth me trying to turn up the volume. Lights flash, things spin and turn, a little mouth opens and closes. See the monkey there clanging the cymbals. This is just one out of two things, but it moves so slowly you've got to stand there for a long time to see anything happen. When you go down a little further here, you'll see the second one. There's some sculpture artist, probably back in the 70s, built this thing. Probably commissioned by the Port of Seattle to make something for people to look at. I don't think that all the pieces actually work properly anymore. Maybe at some point the artist used to come and maintain it, but my guess would be that he is long deceased now. He or she, whoever built this. There's a little piano down there. You see the bells swing back and forth. There's a weird paddle for some badminton or pickleball game or something. Some gears down there. And what appears to be a giant accordion. Some more horns. There's a banjo. Like I said, you can't hear this stuff. I bet at some point it wasn't even encased in glass, but that might account for why things don't work anymore. People don't keep their hands off of things. You see the bike chain moving there. There's an electric guitar. I bet at one time this was a pretty cool attraction. You could stand there and watch everything move and listen to all the sounds that it made. Now it's just kind of more of an afterthought. Most people don't even stop and look at it on their way by. And who can blame them? There's not a lot of time. Ever been trying to make it to your connecting flight, you can relate with the fact that usually you're wondering if you're going to make it. Alright, here, this one's heading south. I think I even set the camera down on the rail there. Pretty cool view. Yeah, there we go. There's one of those rent a space. I don't know how much they cost. I think it's ridiculous that they're not free. You go in there, plug in your laptop, shut the door, have yourself a conference call or a Zoom meeting or whatever you need to do. That way you're not over sitting in the gate terminal area with rowdy kids or announcements going off and things like that. I understand why they're helpful and useful, but I just don't understand why they're not free. If whoever owns those things and charges for them is watching this video, leave me a comment. Let me know how much they cost. Why? Coming up on a neon tube art installation here. It's pretty neat. I think these escalators more often than not are down. Even the ones that go up and down are usually blocked off. You end up having to take an elevator or the stairs or some other way to get to where you need to be, because everything here is just old, broken, and not very well maintained. There's another coffee stand, Cafe d'Arte. Haven't had their coffee yet. Oh look, another Hudson. Pretty cool art up there. Postcards, model of the Space Needle. Just another hallway with some vending machines. Putting in the Seattle Beer Union. Over there. Is that another duty-free store, I think? Yeah, coming soon. Taste of the Pacific Northwest bar scene. I thought it'd be pretty cool if you're a beer drinker. Yes, that on the right is the duty-free. No tax on your alcohol. I don't know if they sell tobacco in there. You need sunglasses, fragrances, some clothing, lots of candy. Oversized candy, too. Giant candy bars, giant Chupa Chups, suckers, all kinds of novelty stuff that you can buy in there. Not pay tax. Nice crazy art installation here. Kind of remind me of a game we played as kids. I want to say it was Ants in My Pants. You have to build the ants piece by piece and make sure they don't fall apart or something. Let me know if you remember that game, if I got the name right. I know my cousins had it. I don't think we ever actually played the game. I think we just played with the parts. See what I mean? This place is long. Here we go. Another one of these escalator things. Another art installation there. I believe we're coming up on a very unique set of chairs. As you're seeing, almost everything in the airport is the same. All the same kinds of chairs, same kinds of tables. Until you get here. This might be an art installation, but it also doubles as a chair. Or 3 chairs, for that matter. Somebody built it out of metal. Pretty cool little piece right there. You have 3 people sitting and visiting with each other. And back to the ho-hum. Tables and chairs like you see all throughout the airport. And we are finally reaching the end, the southernmost tip of the SeaTac concourse. A12 through 21 gates. Over here is the International Lounge, Club C. If you're a member of any of those or flying first class, I believe you can use that lounge. Building something else there to the left. Not sure what it is. More restrooms. Hey, look, the chairs have changed. They look a little more comfortable, but the wood ones are definitely sturdy. Over here we've got mountain room bar. You can get yourself some Tito's handmade vodka in there, or a Fat Tire beer. And the end of the terminal. That's gonna do it for my video of the SeaTac Airport main concourse.